Hi, welcome your beautiful soul. So this is going to be a video about why does your divine masculine run and hide? So why does your masculine run and hide? Do you know? Well, I do because I'm a divine masculine. So divine masculines run and hide because they're afraid. They're afraid of more things than you actually realize in their life. They're afraid of what people think about them. They're afraid of outcomes, possibilities. They're especially afraid of change. That is one of the main things why they run, because they're afraid of change. They are, afraid of that change where they can, positive and outcomes are going to come if when they change, but they're really afraid of that change. So this is one of the main reasons why they hide and run away. So if you're divine masculine, if you're having no contact, if you haven't heard from your divine masculine, it's because a lot of change is happening in their life, and sometimes change, takes time. When you was born to when you are now, how much change have you gone through? How many experiences and scary experiences have you gone through? How much change? How much leaps of faith did you have to go through? Especially when you're waking up. This is one of the main reasons as well for a divine masculine to wake up from, being asleep and then waking up to something, high consciousness, a different way of perceiving things. What they think they're crazy. They think they're going crazy. They think they go, losing the mind. They think, oh my God, what are people going to think of me? I'm having all these different thoughts and feelings coming into, I'm thinking differently, I'm perceiving differently. And then this is, they open up a little bit and then they're like, wow, everything's changing. It's too much to cope with. And then they go back to hiding, something where it's more comfortable for them. Because divine masculines stay where it's comfortable. But where it's not comfortable, they change out of that as well. But they're also in situations where it's the environment where they are now is not comfortable for them. And this is what is bringing that good change and that transformation in for them. But they run and hide because they're afraid. They're in fear. So don't ever judge your masculine in a way of, is this, that, and the other. That is just not good energy to be sending that way, and it's not good energy to be putting out to the universe, because you're putting that out, you're going to receive that back, because we're a signal, we're a light being. So everything you give out, you get back in some way, in some form of manifestation. What you think about really does come about in some way. So definitely send your masculine in love, because it takes great courage to change. It takes great courage to open their eyes and view life in a different perspective, in a way of love, in a way of peace. From a divine masculine's point of view, all my friends, they wasn't awake. They was like, when I was waking up, I faced challenges. All my friends were like, okay, what are you doing? Why are you waving around a bit of Palo Santo? What? They didn't understand, and then, that little bit of change that masculine could make, and then someone could, come in and say, what are you doing? Judge them for something that they thought was right, and then they go back to their old ways, old thought patterns. They believe, oh, that can't be true. Not everyone around me is not thinking this way, so I'm not going to think that way. I'm going to carry on, continue in the way I am. But you have to understand, divine masculine is also a consciousness, a collective consciousness as well, that people do connect with all the time. People connect with the cosmic consciousness, where everyone is in tune with that. So if there's a lot of people asleep, and a lot of people asleep around him, that mind and that thought of where people are controlled and things like that, then they're going to be in that way, unless they're fully awakened and fully aware. But a lot of divine masculines are changing, and especially their perception of life. I do see this coming in next year, so that's something for the divine feminines to look forward to. 2020 is going to be a big year, especially for the twin flame connection, especially for the energy coming in. All their life paths and opportunities are coming in for the divine masculines. I've really already been shown that. So why else do divine masculines run? They fear love. They fear love because a lot of divine masculines also in their childhood, and in their as a child, and in their own in their, when there was their authentic self as a child, they've been conditioned. They've been told certain things, and then they've sort of been brainwashed into reacting in a certain way, feeling in a certain way to those situations. So what what a divine masculine's taught as a child, you don't release emotion. So a lot of divine masculines have that emotion still within their being, so they're still caught up on things that have happened in their past, and then they react out in their everyday life. So, your divine masculine could react to a situation today, but it's got something to do that happened years ago. Your divine masculine is still carrying that around. So this is one of the reasons why they won't run away as well. They've got too much emotion. They can't handle that connection. So when they come into that connection, they feel so much emotion, and they're like, well, they can't control that. So you the divine feminine, really help release that emotion. So that is something that is scary for the divine masculine. Really scary. Wow, you're making me release all this emotion. So that's another reason why the divine masculine runs away. But, there's a lot of traumatic experiences that has happened in your divine masculine's life, with childhood, with parents, with the system and society, and the way society perceives things, and the way, everyone else perceives things. We've all got a different perception. But, there's a lot of conditioning happening that, within the divine masculine that they need to release. That is releasing slowly as the consciousness changes in the whole planet. People get, we're getting that different perception now. A lot more people are waking up to that universal consciousness, that cosmic consciousness, where they can change, where they can feel and think things differently. So another reason why your divine masculine, runs away from the connection is because, the energy between you is intense. That sexual energy, that kundalini energy is intense, and they can't handle that also. When you're with your twin flame, it's just like so intense, down there in your mind, you're rushing. It's a rush. It's a rushing feeling of, your blood. You feel everything, you feel everything like 100 times more, especially in those areas down there. So you've got to understand that's another reason why he runs away, because he hasn't, he can't control himself. And men, divine masculine, if is a woman or a man, or in masculine energy, woman or a man, it doesn't matter, it's the energy. They can't control that energy, because they need that more of a different way, that divine feminine way to look at that and control that. So they need to be balancing, both energies, and that's what, they're going to learn him. But a lot of divine masculines will come back to their divine feminine because they miss that energy. They really miss that energy, that energy of where it's so powerful and intense. They come and then they're like, oh, okay, I've had this for a while. Oh, wow, that's really intense. I'm gonna go now until I'm ready to try and face that again. So this is why they run and come back. They run and chase a dynamic. But you've also got other dynamics as well, where you go with your divine masculine, boom, and you don't see him for maybe a year or in contact. But some, they come and go. It depends how far, spiritually they are, how aware they are. Everyone's connection is different. You might not even have met your twin flame, but you know who it is. You might not have even been in their presence, but you know who it is. You're getting ready for that spiritual connection, that magical connection. So trust and have faith in everything, in your journey, in your intuition. So divine masculines, that sexual energy, that's why they come and go. The yin and yang, you're basically like magnets. The twin flames are like magnets. They come, they stick together no matter what, but sometimes they get turned around. And then you've got that that energy where you've got the pull and pull effect. So divine masculines next year are really working on this. I feel a lot of divine masculines are going to be coming back. They really miss that energy of that unconditional love, and miss that energy of where they feel right, and they have to go through something, experience something, then go into something else, so they realize, okay, I actually did enjoy that at that time. I actually did enjoy that connection. They've got to learn these lessons. This is why you come together, then you go into separation, because in that time and space you're together, and you feel like you're both ready for each other, but there's something that always pulls you apart again. It's those lessons. It's to make you stronger. It's to make you more in love. But the divine masculine, I definitely feel next year is a very powerful year for your divine masculine. So that is just some of the reasons why the divine masculines, do run away and, hide and run. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you would love a personal reading, with me, then that's going to be in the description below, and you can contact me through email, and then we can have a chat. So really wish you a magical day, and as always, namaste.